I don't even know how the economy looks like right here. Yeah, we got plus 1,610 here with our very first settlement, Turby Castle. You see a lot is coming from Turby. Workshop income is 1,243. Turby Castle is giving 416. My idiotic hat is in between, isn't it? Hang on. There. So, yeah, Turby 80, Syrian Dutch 232, Turby cost of 416, and the workshop income is 1,240. So you see, villages, the settlement itself, my workshops are doing the income, plus the caravans you see next. Caravan of Welcome 378, and Ishna Despise Vendor 109 in that very case, and 37 from Ojeros. So you see, I have 3 resources where my income is coming from: caravans, workshops, and the settlement itself. And yeah, let's take a look. The workshops, this is we are Clan Tier 5, the workshop look like that. Please don't copy paste those workshops. We are playing on the 1.8.0. Workshops behave a little bit different, and you might already see that not all of them are actually working as good as they should, as good as they're supposed to. A good running workshop is doing at least more than 200 dinars each day, else it's sad that it's not really paying out. Like, you actually want to get something, but we are here very early in the game, and workshops will do better later on, as there's a special trick to it.
Give me all your money!
Still, you see that the workshops are somewhat good. So yeah. So the workshops are doing pretty well here, and 1.8.0, what you need to make sure is that if you construct a workshop somewhere, that there is no other workshop of that kind in the surrounding settlements, in the surrounding towns, because in 1.8.0 that is having a way bigger impact. Caravans and the buy-in, buy-out of caravans is having a way bigger impact on your workshop income. So you kind of want to make sure. Let's skip forward a little bit to a different save file. All right. So let's switch over to day 5 of our conquest. I already have a little bit more settlements. Oh wait. 27, 24, 20, yeah, okay, we can go to 5, yes. Let's see what I do out there. You can already see here, you don't see it, I only see it. You can already see I get 1 million, and yeah, that million is coming from the daily income. So what have I done is, first of all, when I created my kingdom, this is on day 5, as I said. When I created my kingdom, the first thing I was striving for is that I do have 5 towns under my very own control. This is very, very important, very vital to you. I guess nowadays you can also go with 4. Not 5 is actually like very much. I guess you can also have the same impact with 4. The more towns you do have under your control, the more money you will get on a daily basis. Here in our case, we get 15,000 each day. 15,000 each day, and that is most likely thanks to the towns we do have under our control. Look at that. Provence 2,900, Roval 2,200, Oxhall 2,000. All of those places are doing actually as much as all of my workshops together. One place is doing as much as all of my workshops together, which are 2,500. We have tribute payments to cover of 2,290, and you see those tribute payments could be 5 times more, and we would still get 4,000 on a daily basis. And that is the reason why you want to go with that many towns. Tribute payments are a pain in the ass. You know it, we all know it. Sometimes it's like really ridiculous, and the amount is just totally crazy, and you need to pay 5,000 on a daily basis just to get out of a sticky situation. So in order to cover all those tribute payments, you want to have those 5 settlements under your control to make sure that you can cover all the payments no matter what is coming in front of you. That is also the reason why, before you don't have those 5 settlements under your control, you don't go with more than 2 clans in your settlement, in your kingdom. Not more than 2 clans, because it's vital to you. It's very, very, very necessary and important that you show up in the voting of who is going to get the settlement. You know, each time when you claim a settlement, there's that voting showing up, who is going to take it, which clan member, which clan leader, who is going to have it. And if there are more than 2 clan leaders in your kingdom, you won't show up there anymore, at least not that often. And especially in the early phase, it's very important for you that you get your hands on those settlements. So make sure that you don't have more than 2 clan leaders, and yeah, then you're ready to blow off, and you do get 15,000 each day. That amount is very, very high. That amount is very, very high. I don't really know what happened. It seems like it's 1.8 thing. Let's take a look at the workshops, and you see right here, the workshops are doing way much better. You see Silversmith at Sanala 794, Brewery at Sanala 290, Silversmith Ostican 543, Line and Weaver at Pravin 371, Wine Press at Garland 384. What happened there is, first of all, what I did with the workshops is I have my own kingdom, I have my own places. So what I'm doing is I'm having the workshops in my kingdom, because places I do have under my control, I less likely lose. If somebody is going to declare war on me, I don't lose the workshops anymore. Imagine the Azawai would declare war. I have 2 workshops in there. I would lose those workshops. No worries, I can build them in my Flandrian area. The very, very important thing to me is that, wait, what was the workshop? That the wine press at Garland is the only wine press being around. So I made sure that there is no wine press at Provence. I made sure that there is no wine press at Yakulan to increase the income. And that is coming with a huge investment. That is coming with a huge investment. In 1.8.0 and 1.72, or no, in 1.8.0, the amount of money you need to pay to get the workshops can get high to 30k. Sometimes the highest amount I saw so far was 43k for a workshop. So it's a very, very huge investment you need to take. And especially in the early game, it isn't really making sense. So, in the early game, you're more like, you know, going with try and error. You're just looking around, okay, which workshop, like for example, Sianon, Saniopa, a brewery would make sense, making sure, like, just to see, is there a workshop at Diaphma? Is there a workshop, a brewery at Diaphma? Is there a brewery at Amitatis or Licaron? And if it appears like that there isn't, you can go with the brewery at Saniopa. Most likely there is a brewery at Licaron, so at Licaron or Amitatis, so you don't go with the brewery at Saniopa. Same with the Woolweavers here in the Kusai territory. You just like take a look around and see if there is like a certain entry for you. What I can always recommend, no matter what, is the Silversmith at Sanala. The Silversmith at Sanala is having like a very, very slow start, but it evolves into a very, very good workshop. Same with the brewery. That is just because there are just two settlements on the direct line, which is Kuyas and Quazira, and it is not very likely happening that there is silver at Kuyas and Quazira, that there is a silversmith. So you can easily go with the silversmith at Sanala. Yeah, that is recommendable. That's the thing about the workshops. On the caravans, while the workshops gain impact in the mid and late game of the game, the caravans lose their impact. As the more war is going on, the less time the caravans do have to be around. They will get attacked very often, they get eliminated very often, and sooner or later you just feel like, okay, that's not worth the investment anymore. So that's more like an early game thing. But if it happens that you want to have a caravan for the early game, I can highly recommend it for the early game. You might want to search yourself someone who is called a spice vendor. Do we have a spice vendor in here? Yeah, that should be Ishna, the spice vendor. There you go. She's having 200 to trading. That is just because she was already our caravan leader for a long time, so that was growing. The higher the trading skill, the higher the amount of money you get, and also in account to that, scouting is very important, so the caravan is able to evade things and see things earlier. And also the riding skill is very important to make the caravan quicker and make sure that the caravan leader is having a horse. And there is also another thing, yes, the tactics skill. The tactics skill is going to help the caravan out to survive attacks as they get their advantage in simulation of battles. And as long as you are not like taking part in that battle of the caravan, you might want to make sure that that is set up as well. Long story short, what I'm trying to say here is, of course, this game is not filled with spice vendors. Sometimes you have one spice vendor being around, sometimes you have two spice vendors being around. And you might want to have more than just two caravans. So you go with other companions, which are at least covering other stats, like the tactics stat, like the scouting stat, like the riding stat, to somehow make your caravan last long enough, at least to make sure that they are able to get a little bit of coin into. Caravans are very, very important for the early game. You don't have any limitation on that, just a companion limit, and they are doing pretty well. So, policies. Next thing, policies. These are all the policies I do have. I can highly recommend all of them. State monopolies is actually the big money giver here. Ruler clan gains 5% of settlement as tax per town. That's like so fucking strong. You see it. Actually, the state monopolies right now is giving me 3,250 dinars, and that is also like 50% more than the workshops are giving me. So yeah, you definitely want to reach out to that one too. Land tax as well as a little income giver. Land tax, where do I see it? 442 dinars. And of course, all the other policies are very important to you. Maybe not law speakers, but definitely royal guard to increase your party size, sacred majesty to get more influence, royal privilege, forgiveness of debts, tribunes of the people, noble retinues, royal commissions, not that much. No, yeah, royal commissions, castle charters, state monopolies, as I already said, and land tax. These are the most definite policies. There are also some more policies which are quite useful, but I right now mentioned like one of the most important ones. You boost the loyalty with forgiveness of debts and tribunes of people. So you see settlement loyalty is increased by 2 per day. Tribunes of the people, town loyalty is increased by 1 per day. And with that, you make sure that you don't get a downside of having a settlement which is not belonging to your culture. At the beginning of your game, you're choosing a culture, and if it happens that you own a settlement which is not belonging to that culture you have chosen, you will get a -3 loyalty malus on that place. So you will lose -3 loyalty on that place from the beginning on. With those two policies, your towns won't get that malus anymore. As you know, you still get the -3, but you also get +3 from the policies. So it's evened out. It's at 0, and it's all good. And how do I boost it as a vassal? Bing, 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 bing. That's the master question. You don't, you're fucked as a vassal. As a vassal, you don't take care about such things. It's simply, it's not going into that realm. To prevent rebellions, you would need to install a lot of garrison in that certain place. Or you go with the festivals. Yeah, you can like, if you're a vassal, you can go with abdicate vassal or stuff like that, and you can keep the settlements, but make sure that you know that you will be at war against the faction instantly. I actually did that now all for you guys. I hope I could help you out on creating your kingdom. Just to make sure that you are informed. Also, the updated version on the workshops for the 1.8.0, there was a little change. It's now like workshops were way more easier in 1.72. On 1.8.0, it's a little bit more difficult, a little bit more complicated. And yeah, definitely not very attractive to new players, as it really is strange. And if you're a new player to the game and you feel like, all right, let's have a workshop, or let's have a wood workshop, that sounds good, and all of a sudden you waste 30k for it, and you get 100 dinars each day as a return, and you just feel scammed. You just feel like, you know, you could also just subscribe to my channel. That's the second thing you can do there. Like that's the same way of throwing your money out of the window.